Good morning, everyone. Today, we're going to talk about something that will transform the way you see challenges in your life, especially those tough relationships with people who seem to drain your energy, undermine your worth, and twist your reality. I'm talking about narcissists, but let me tell you something. When God unveils a narcissist in your life, it's not just to expose them. It's to empower you. You see, life is a journey of lessons. And the toughest people we encounter are often our greatest teachers. When God pulls back the curtain and shows you someone's true colors, it's not a punishment, it's a gift. But how you respond to that revelation determines whether you stay stuck or step into a whole new level of power. Yes, it hurts when someone you trusted betrays you, manipulates you, or tries to make you feel less than. But pain is a divine signal. It's there to wake you up, to make you pay attention, to say, this is not the life you were meant to live. When you finally see someone for who they are, that clarity is your liberation. You no longer have to second guess yourself. God isn't revealing this to hurt you. He's saying, my child, it's time to rise. It's time to step out of the cycle of confusion and into your truth. I know many of you are kind-hearted, compassionate, and want to see the best in people. That's beautiful. But let me tell you this, empathy doesn't mean you have to tolerate toxic behavior. It's okay to love people from a distance. You felt it, haven't you? That nudge in your gut, that quiet voice saying, something's off here. That's not paranoia, that's divine intuition. Trust it. God gave you that inner compass for a reason. Boundaries aren't walls to keep people out, they're gettings to protect what matters most. Your peace, your energy, your calling. Every time you say no to something that doesn't serve you, you're saying yes to your God-given purpose. When you understand why a narcissist came into your life, you unlock the chains they held on you. Maybe it was to teach you self-worth. Maybe it was to show you the strength you didn't know you had. Awareness breaks the cycle. Look, every carries wisdom. It's up to you to extract the lessons and let that pain propel you forward. You've been given a choice, stay bitter or grow better. Which one will you choose? Forgiving someone doesn't mean you're saying what they did was okay. It means you're refusing to let their actions control your emotions any longer. You're saying, I release you so I can be free. The most powerful thing you can do after encountering a narcissist is to rebuild yourself stronger, wiser, and more confident than ever before. They tried to break you, but here you are, rising higher than ever. Pain has a way of stopping us in our tracks. It grabs our attention, forces us to slow down, and makes us examine parts of our lives we might otherwise ignore. When we encounter pain, especially the kind inflicted by a narcissist, it's not just random suffering. It's a divine wake-up call. God allows pain not to punish us, but to prepare us, to propel us into something greater than we can imagine. Think about it. When everything is smooth and comfortable, we rarely question our surroundings, our relationships, or even our choices. We get complacent. But pain shakes us awake. It's the divine hand saying, pay attention. It's through pain that we begin to notice what's misaligned in our lives, whether it's a toxic relationship, a limiting belief, or a pattern of self-neglect. Pain also teaches us about ourselves. It shows us where we've been giving too much or expecting too little. It reveals the places where we've compromised our values, where we've ignored the warning signs, and where we've settled for less than we deserve. It's a mirror reflecting back the areas in our lives that need healing, growth, and transformation. But here's the beauty of it. Pain isn't permanent. It's a tool, a messenger, and when we lean into it rather than resist it, it can be the greatest catalyst for change. It's through the cracks in our hearts that the light gets in. It's through the brokenness that we discover our resilience. And it's through the struggle that we find our strength. When you understand the purpose of pain, you stop seeing it as something to run from and start seeing it as a stepping stone. Pain pushes you out of your comfort zone and into a place of growth. It teaches you to listen more deeply to yourself and to the divine guidance that's always there. When God reveals the truth about someone, it can feel like the ground beneath you is shifting. Maybe it's someone you trusted, someone you admired, or someone you thought had your best interests at heart. And then seemingly out of nowhere, their true nature is exposed. At first, it feels like a betrayal. You question how you missed the signs, why you ignored the whispers of doubt, or how you allowed yourself to be deceived. But here's the thing. When God unveils someone's true character, it's not an act of cruelty, it's an act of love. Revelation is liberation. It's God stepping into your life to clear the fog, to strip away illusions, and to give you clarity. Because the truth, no matter how uncomfortable, sets you free. When you see someone for who they really are, you're no longer bound by their manipulation or deceit. You no longer waste your energy trying to fit into their narrative or seeking validation from someone who doesn't have your best interests at heart. Revelation frees you to make decisions that align with your worth, your values, and your divine purpose. It's not just about seeing them clearly, it's about seeing yourself clearly. Sometimes God allows these revelations to show you the ways you've been compromising, ignoring red flags, or holding on to a version of someone that only existed in your hopes. It's a chance to realign with the truth of who you are and what you deserve. This liberation isn't easy. It requires courage to accept the truth and let go of the story you've been telling yourself. It may mean walking away, setting boundaries, or redefining relationships. But in that process, you gain something priceless: freedom. Freedom from the lies, from the confusion, and from the chains of expectations that were never meant for you. Revelation is God's way of clearing the path for something better. It's His way of saying, I see what you don't, and I love you too much to let you stay here. When you embrace the truth, even when it's painful, you step into a new level of strength, wisdom, and peace. What once held you back no longer has power over you. You're free to heal, free to grow, and free to rise. Empathy is one of the most beautiful and powerful traits we possess. It allows us to connect deeply with others, to feel their pain, to understand their struggles, and to offer compassion. But there's a fine line between empathy and enabling, and crossing that line can lead us into dangerous territory, especially when dealing with someone who thrives on manipulation, like a narcissist. When you empathize with someone, you recognize their humanity. You see their wounds, their fears, and the experiences that may have shaped their behavior. This understanding is natural and good. It comes from a place of love. But what happens when that empathy becomes a justification for tolerating harmful behavior? What happens when, in trying to help, you end up excusing actions that hurt you or others? That's where enabling begins. Enabling isn't just about ignoring red flags. It's about diminishing your own boundaries to protect someone else's comfort. It's about allowing behavior that drains you emotionally, mentally, or even physically because you're afraid of confrontation, rejection, or guilt. Narcissists are especially skilled at exploiting empathy, twisting it to suit their needs. They may frame their actions as your responsibility to fix or manipulate your compassion to avoid accountability. True empathy, however, doesn't mean abandoning your values or sacrificing your well-being. Empathy requires strength, discernment, and clear understanding someone's struggles without taking ownership of them. It's about offering support without becoming a crutch. You can care for someone without carrying their burdens. You can love someone without allowing their behavior to compromise your peace. Sometimes the most empathetic thing you can do is to let someone face the consequences of their actions. Growth doesn't come from shielding someone from reality. It comes from allowing them to confront their own patterns. By setting boundaries, you're not being cold or unkind. You're giving both yourself and the other person a chance to grow. Empathy is a gift, but it's also a responsibility. It requires you to balance compassion with self-respect, understanding with accountability, and kindness with wisdom. By standing firm in your boundaries, you honor not only yourself, but also the integrity of the relationship. True empathy empowers, it never enables. Your intuition is one of the most powerful tools you have. It's that deep inner knowing that whispers to you when something isn't right or nudges you toward a better path. It's not loud or flashy, it's quiet, subtle, and often easy to dismiss. But when you ignore it, you do so at your own peril. Trusting your intuition is an act of honoring the wisdom that God has placed within you. Think about the times you felt uneasy in a situation or doubted someone's intentions, but you brushed it off. Maybe you told yourself you were being overly sensitive or dramatic. Yet later, when the truth came to light, you realized your intuition had been right all along. That wasn't coincidence, that was divine guidance trying to protect you, to steer you toward clarity and safety. Your intuition is not just a random feeling, it's a combination of your experiences, observations, and spiritual discernment. It's your body and soul picking up on things your conscious mind hasn't yet fully processed. When something feels off, that's your intuition signaling you to pay attention. It's not about being paranoid or jumping to conclusions. It's about being present, aware, and receptive to the signs that are always there. Trusting your intuition requires courage. It means being willing to act on feelings you can't always explain. It means standing firm in your convictions even when others try to convince you otherwise. Narcissists, for example, are experts at making you doubt yourself. They'll gaslight you, twist your reality, and try to make you question what you know deep down to be true. But your intuition doesn't lie. It's your anchor in the storm. Learning to trust your intuition also means quieting the noise around you. In a world full of opinions, distractions, and outside influences, it's easy to lose touch with your inner voice. But when you take the time to pause, reflect, and listen, that voice becomes clearer. It guides you not only away from harm, but toward opportunities, relationships, and experiences that align with your highest good. Intuition is God's way of communicating with you, of protecting you and guiding you toward your purpose. Trust it, lean into it, honor it. Because every time you listen to your intuition, you strengthen your connection to yourself, your faith in the divine plan for your life. Setting boundaries is one of the most sacred acts of self-respect and self-care you can practice. It's not about building walls to keep people out. It's about creating space to protect what matters most: your peace, your energy, your values, and your purpose. Boundaries are an acknowledgement of your worth and a declaration of what you will and will not accept in your life. When you set boundaries, you're not being selfish or unkind. In fact, boundaries are an act of love both for yourself and for others. They communicate clearly where your limits are and give others a chance to adjust their behavior accordingly. Without boundaries, relationships become chaotic, one-sided, and draining. Boundaries create structure, clarity, and respect, which are essential for healthy interactions. Establishing boundaries is especially crucial when dealing with narcissists or toxic individuals. These people thrive on overstepping limits, manipulating your kindness, and testing how far they can go. They'll often make you feel guilty for asserting your needs, as if protecting yourself is a betrayal of them. But here's the truth: every time you say yes to something that drains you, you're saying no to something that could uplift you. Boundaries are not about pushing others away, they're about making room for what truly serves your soul. Setting boundaries can feel uncomfortable at first, especially if you're used to being a people pleaser or avoiding conflict. But discomfort is temporary, and the freedom that comes from standing in your truth is worth it. Boundaries teach others how to treat you and set the tone for how you treat yourself. They're a reflection of the standards you hold for your life. Boundaries are also sacred because they honor the unique path that God has designed for you. When you allow others to overstep, manipulate, or control you, you lose sight of your purpose. Healing begins with awareness. You can't heal what you don't acknowledge. Awareness is the light that shines on the wounds you've been carrying, the patterns you've been repeating, and the relationships that have been draining you. It's not always easy to face these truths. Often, it's easier to stay busy, distracted. Or even healing requires courage, a willingness to stop, look inward, and confront what's been holding you back. When you become aware, you take the first step toward liberation. You begin to recognize the cycles that have kept you stuck, whether it's staying in toxic relationships, doubting your worth, or ignoring your needs. Awareness helps you connect the dots, showing you how past experiences, beliefs, and choices have shaped your present reality. It's not about blaming yourself or others. It's about understanding so you can break free. Healing through awareness also means accepting what you find. This is where many people struggle, because awareness often brings discomfort. You may realize you've tolerated mistreatment, ignored red flags, or avoided setting boundaries. That can feel heavy, even shameful. But awareness is not about judgment, it's about empowerment. It's about saying, now that I see the truth, I can choose differently. As you become more aware, you start to see the lessons hidden within your pain. Maybe that difficult relationship taught you the importance of self-respect. Maybe the betrayal showed you the value of trusting your intuition. Awareness helps you reframe your experiences, transforming them from sources of suffering into opportunities for growth. Through awareness, you also reclaim your power. When you're unaware, you're at the mercy of circumstances, reacting to life instead of creating it. But awareness gives you choice. It allows you to decide what you'll tolerate, what you'll pursue, and how you'll move forward. It's the foundation for setting boundaries, building confidence, and creating a life that aligns with your values. Every wound you've experienced holds within it the potential for profound wisdom. It may not feel that way in the moment. Pain often blinds us to the bigger picture. But as time passes and the initial sting begins to fade, you start to see the lessons hidden within the hurt. Turning wounds into wisdom is not about denying the pain or pretending it didn't happen. It's about choosing to grow through what you've gone through. Wounds often leave us asking, why did this happen to me? But the real power lies in shifting that question to, what can I learn from this? Every hardship, every betrayal, every loss has something to teach us. Maybe it's the strength you didn't know you had, the importance of trusting your intuition, or the necessity of setting boundaries. These lessons are gifts, even if they're wrapped in pain. Wisdom doesn't come from avoiding wounds. It comes from facing them, feeling them, and processing them. It's in the reflection, the inner work, and the willingness to sit with discomfort that you gain clarity. You begin to understand not just what happened, but how it shaped you, how it changed you, and how it prepared you for what's next. Your wounds become a source of insight, helping you navigate future challenges with greater resilience and understanding. Turning wounds into wisdom also involves letting go of blame, whether it's blaming others or blaming yourself. Blame keeps you tied to the past, replaying the hurt over and over. Wisdom, on the other hand, frees you. It allows you to see the situation from a higher perspective where every experience, no matter how painful, has a purpose in your growth. When you transform your wounds into wisdom, you not only heal yourself, but also gain the ability to help others. Your experiences become a source of inspiration and guidance for those who are still struggling. You can speak from a place of empathy and strength, showing others that healing is possible and that there's meaning in the struggle. Ultimately, turning wounds into wisdom is about taking ownership of your story. You're no longer defined by what happened to you. Instead, you're defined by how you rose from it. You turn pain into power, scars into strength, and adversity into a stepping stone for a better, wiser version of yourself. Forgiveness is one of the most powerful acts you can choose in life. Not because it changes the past, but because it transforms your present and future. It's not about excusing the wrongs done to you or pretending that the pain didn't happen. It's about freeing yourself from the grip of anger, resentment, and bitterness that weigh you down and keep you tethered to the hurt. Forgiveness is a gift you give to yourself. A declaration that you will never let someone else's actions control your emotions, your peace, or your joy. When you hold on to unforgiveness, it becomes a burden. You replay the offense in your mind, relive the hurt, and allow the person or situation to occupy space in your heart and mind. But the truth is, the very thing you're avoiding is often the thing you need most. Growth and transformation don't happen in the safety of the comfort zone. They happen when you step into the unknown and embrace the challenges that come with it. Discomfort signals change. When you feel it, it's a sign that you're pushing beyond your limits and venturing into new territory. It's in these moments of challenge, whether it's starting a new habit, pursuing a bold goal, or confronting a fear, that you discover who you really are. Discomfort isn't there to punish you, it's there to prepare you for the next level. Think about any significant achievement in your life. It likely required effort, uncertainty, and moments of struggle. Maybe it was learning a new skill, overcoming a personal setback, or pursuing a dream. Forgiveness is also a profound act of strength. It takes courage to face the pain, to confront the anger, and to release the need for revenge or validation. It's not about weakness or passivity, it's about rising above the hurt and refusing to let it consume you. It's an act of love, not just for others, but for yourself. When you forgive, you create space for healing, growth, and new beginnings. You open the door to grace, allowing the wounds to transform into wisdom and the pain into purpose. Forgiveness doesn't change what happened, but it changes what happens next. It's the bridge that takes you from suffering to peace, from anger to understanding, and from hurt to wholeness. It's one of the most liberating powers you hold. And when you choose it, you choose freedom. Building unshakable confidence is not about pretending to be fearless or perfect. It's about cultivating a deep trust in yourself and your ability to handle whatever life throws your way. Confidence isn't something you're born with. It's something you build through action, resilience, and self-awareness. It's a skill that grows every time you face a challenge, embrace discomfort, and learn from your experiences. True confidence starts from within. It's not about seeking validation from others or measuring your worth by external achievements. It's about knowing who you are, what you stand for, and recognizing that you have inherent value regardless of circumstances. This kind of confidence is unshakable because it's rooted in your identity, not in the opinions of others or fleeting successes. To build this confidence, you must first silence the inner critic, the voice that tells you you're not enough, that you'll fail, or that you shouldn't even try. That voice thrives on fear and self-doubt, and it's often amplified by past failures or negative experiences. But confidence grows when you challenge that voice, when you take small, courageous steps despite the doubts and prove to yourself that you're capable. Building unshakable confidence also requires embracing failure as a part of growth. Failure isn't the opposite of success, it's a stepping stone toward it. Every setback teaches you something valuable about your strengths, your resilience, and areas for improvement. When you stop fearing failure and start seeing it as feedback, you become unstoppable. Confidence comes not from avoiding failure, but from knowing you can rise every time you fall. Consistency is another key to confidence. Confidence isn't built in a single moment. It's cultivated through repeated actions. Every time you show up for yourself, whether it's following through on a goal, keeping a promise, or stepping outside your comfort zone, you reinforce your belief in your ability to succeed. Small wins add up, creating a foundation of trust in yourself that becomes unshakable over time. Confidence also thrives in authenticity. When you stop trying to be someone you're not and fully embrace who you are, you unlock a power that can't be shaken. Authenticity allows you to show up as your true self unapologetically and without the need for approval. It's freeing and empowering, and it sends a message to the world that you're not afraid to own your space. Lastly, building unshakable confidence is about aligning your actions with your values. When you live in integrity, making choices that reflect your true priorities and beliefs, you create a solid foundation for confidence. You're no longer swayed by external pressures or the fear of judgment because you know you're staying true to yourself. Unshakable confidence doesn't mean you never feel fear or doubt. It means you've built the strength to move forward anyway. It's the quiet assurance that no matter what happens, you have what it takes to adapt, learn, and grow. It's a powerful force that transforms not just how you see yourself, but how you show up in the world. Empowerment is one of the most transformative forces in the world. It doesn't just change the individual who experiences it, but it spreads outward, impacting everyone around them. When you take control of your life, trust your abilities, and stand in your own strength, it sends a powerful message to others. You become a living example of what's possible, and in turn, others are inspired to step into their own power. Empowerment isn't a solitary journey. It's a ripple effect that reverberates through relationships, communities, and beyond. When you empower yourself, you naturally become a source of inspiration for those around you. People see your confidence, your resilience, and your determination, and they're reminded that they too have the strength to overcome their challenges. It's like a spark that ignites something within them, a recognition that if you can do it, they can do it too. This is the beauty of empowerment. It's contagious. It creates an environment where growth, support, and courage flourish because others feel empowered to take their own steps forward. The act of empowering others begins with believing in their potential. When you see someone for who they can become, not just for who they are in the moment, you offer them a gift. You give them the belief that they can rise, achieve, and change their circumstances. Your words, your actions, and your support can lift them out of self-doubt and into a place of possibility. And when they feel empowered, they too start to lift up others in the same way. It's a cycle of growth, encouragement, and mutual strength. But empowerment isn't just about what you do for others, it's about what happens when you show up authentically, fully aligned with your truth. When you stop hiding your gifts, your voice, and your passions, you invite others to do the same. You create a space where people are encouraged to be their true selves, to step into their greatness without fear of judgment. In this way, empowerment becomes a shared experience, something that grows stronger with every person who embraces it. In relationships, the power of empowerment creates bonds that are rooted in mutual respect and support. When you empower the people you love, you help them recognize their worth, their potential, and their ability to navigate life's challenges. You build each other up rather than tear each other down, and this strength becomes a foundation for deeper, more meaningful connections. The more you empower those around you, the more you fuel a cycle of growth and encouragement that lifts everyone. The ripple effect of empowerment reaches beyond personal connections. It spreads to communities, workplaces, and larger society structures. Empowered individuals create empowered teams, families, and organizations. They take risks, pursue their goals, and work together to create something greater than themselves. And when you witness someone else's success, their empowerment fuels your own. It reminds you that there is no limit to what's possible when we support and uplift each other. Empowerment doesn't have to be a big grand gesture. Sometimes it's as simple as speaking life into someone, reminding them of their strength, or sharing your own story of resilience. The more we empower ourselves, the more we create an environment where others are free to step into their own power. And in this way, empowerment becomes a legacy, one that's passed on from person to person, growing, expanding, and lighting up the world around us. Here's the best part. Your journey of empowerment isn't just for you. When you rise, you become a light for others. You show them that it's possible to break free, to heal, and to thrive. Challenge you today. When God unveils someone in your life who's who you thought they were, don't play small. Instead, thank Him for the revelation. Step into your power. Set your boundaries. Trust your intuition. And remember that you were made for greatness. And no one can take that from you unless you let them. This is your journey of empowerment. It's time to rise. Let's go.